and welcome to episode 5 of
My Girlfriend the Artist.
Today, Chris and I are going to talk about the words that we've chosen as our word of the year for 2022. Have you chosen a word for 2022? Mine this year is discernment. And I know that seems like a heavy-duty word, it kind of is, but the words that I've chosen over the last several years, to me, kind of build up to this word. In 2019, my word was gratefulness. In 2020, it was grace. And in 2021, it was intention. And I feel like all three of those kind of play into me learning more how to be discerning. And discernment to me is really more about using my values, my rational brain, and my feeling heart to find the truth about things, to gather the most objective perceptions about things and use those perceptions and values to make my choices in life, because life is a matter of all the choices that we make. Tris, what's your word?
Well, my word is trust. And really what that means for me is trust in the process of life, trust in the universe, trust that the universe is taking care of you, because it is a benevolent universe and it does take care of us. And I know when I look back at my life, it absolutely has taken care of me. But I am at the cusp of a big year, and I feel a lot of worry and anxiety coming up of possible changes and life changes. And I have to just settle down and just be and just trust that everything will work out in the time that it will, in the time that it should, as it should. And that might not be exactly how I envision it, but and you have to throw that out the window. But just to know that these things I'm hoping for, these things I'm trying to manifest in my life, will happen in the time that they're ready for.
Yes, I feel like that's a really good definition of trust. It's a useful definition. So you're kind of using trust as a tool to move you forward. And I really like that aspect of it, that you've chosen that word to have meaning for you in that way. I feel like that's kind of how I've chosen discernment, because I want it to inform my choice making, my decision making. I want it to inform the way that I'm creating my life. The active process of making good judgments and using my heart and using the knowledge that I have without letting my assumptions or preconceived notions kind of cloud my perceptions, and using those clear perceptions to make good choices.
Yeah, that's really beautiful, Sarah. Something I see in common with our two words here is that we are allowing ourselves to be the authors of our life. We are allowing ourselves to write the story, that we want about ourselves, to choose and create the life that we want by being in the moment and being aware of what we're doing and what we're thinking and how we're feeling. And so, yeah, we are in charge of being the author of what is to come. So I love how you brought the heart into that as well. And I have a question for you. Is it with the discernment, is it part for you in knowing how to react when something is coming to you, like taking that moment to maybe not react without thinking, but take some time to see, like if something negative was happening to you, for example, to take some time and see, well, what's happening, and then think about it, feel it maybe, or I don't know what your process is, and then come to it. Is that part of it for you? I'm just curious.
Yes, I mean, that's a really, really good question. It goes right to the heart of really kind of why I chose this word, because grace and then intention both played into my reaction. Whether that's people behaving a certain way or events occurring, those two words were like guideposts that I was using in order to make sure that I was and am reacting and choosing from my truest self. My integrity is playing into it, and my need for truth and honesty is playing into it. Another thing is, I always give people the benefit of the doubt. And in the past, sometimes that has come back to bite me because they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt all the time. And I feel like discernment is going to help me not prejudge, but just judge appropriately using my intuition, using my gut, using all the knowledge and experience that I have in my 57 years to inform how I'm going to be in the world. So that was a really good question.
Thanks. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And you know what it makes me think of too, again, like these coincidences, these similarities that we have between our words is like we are creating these certain energies. You know, I'm putting my trust into things that I want to happen. So doing some manifestations as well. And you are putting your energies into this love and this thinking and this heart and this objectivity, as you say. And you know, so what that does is it brings that kind of energy right back to us. So we're creating this way of being, and that energy goes out into the universe and it comes back to us. So I think, you know, that's just so beautiful. I'm imagining these lovely things happening for you, and it all just coming back to you and filling your heart and just making you grow and, you know, being the person that you want to be and having the life you deserve and desire.
Yeah, you know, and I was thinking too, our words that we've chosen, there's different aspects to how they'll show up for us in our lives and how maybe we'll use them. Discernment for me gives me an intention and helps me direct my focus and my attention to taking that holistic approach to living. But, you know, there's an everyday aspect to it that, you know, speaking of like social media, you know, and marketing in our consumeristic society, for example, it's like I feel like discernment will come into play with that because I will be evaluating what's true and real, because that is what resonates with me as a consumer. I don't want to patronize the fake or disingenuous or the greedy. I don't want to support that energy. I'm going to direct my focus in a discerning way to those aspects of social media or the marketplace that will give me a sense of, you know, support and that will, you know, enrich my life instead of, you know, maybe draining my energy from me. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. It sounds really self-empowering, actually. And that made me think of my word trust is, you know, it's maybe a little bit like you're trusting your gut. And for me, I have to trust my gut, because if something isn't feeling right, or if you've got a lot of negative energy coming to you, you know, you have to trust yourself that this is not the people you want to surround yourself with, or this is not the direction you want to go. Or if something feels really good in your gut, this is the direction I need to be going. And so I think that's maybe a little bit what you might be saying too, but I know for me, yes, as I said, to trust the universe, but to also trust myself and how that feeling is in my body, whether, you know, this is the direction I should be going or this is the direction I should be going, and just being open to possibility.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, trust is actually part of discernment, because I have to trust in my own ability to assess reality and, you know, trust myself, because I don't think I give myself the benefit of the doubt often enough, you know. So partly about trusting my own ability, now that I've had a lot of knowledge and experience in life, to just trust myself to, you know, figure these things out.
Yeah, that's really well said. I really feel, Sarah, that you and I are going to have an empowering, awesome year. I really feel it. You know, I feel that energy. Like you're really standing up for yourself and carving your way through the world, and I am too, in a different way. Although there are similarities, and I hope that all our viewers are also finding a way to maybe have their word and find their way through this year. And I really hope that the energy for them is great and that awesome things happen. I feel like we're on the cusp of some great things here this year.
I feel the same way, Chris. I feel like all of last year, building up these conversations, you know, over time, it's kind of a body of wisdom that we've shared between ourselves and with everyone else that's watching, and taking that wisdom we've shared, helping us move forward in a positive direction, empowered by, you know, what we've experienced, to create our lives into what we want them to be. And you know, we've always had this ability, and I just feel like we're realizing that. You know, we're realizing that we have that. We're feeling that empowerment that comes from that. I share your perspective that this is going to be a very good year. I have it for all of us, not just you and I, not just myself. I really do feel like that energy is available to anyone that wants to tap into it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel that last year was for many people, and certainly for us, and certainly for me, a time of building and gathering and finding courage and muddling through life and figuring things out and learning and growing. And I feel like the start of this year is the time for us to soar, is the time for us to fly, is the time for great things to happen. And I hope that everybody else feels that way too. And if you don't, like Sarah said, it's yours to seek and find and grab a hold of it and make it happen. It's really exciting, and can't wait for the rest of the year. And Sarah, I'm so grateful to have done this series with you. I know we still have some segments to go, and it's just really been a blessing to my life. And thank you for having these awesome conversations.
Well, Chris, I feel exactly the same way as usual. It fills my heart, and it really energizes me and empowers me every single time we get off the phone and we get off the cameras. And whenever I'm like editing the video, I get to revisit it all again and then watch the final versions. It's been a very meaningful and empowering and positive experience. I'm so glad we're continuing it, and even if the series doesn't continue at some point, our friendship always will. So I'm so grateful for that, and I love you, my friend.
Yes, our friendship will continue. And to all of you, I love you very much too. You know that, I say it, but I really do mean it, and I'm super duper appreciative that you've taken your valuable time to spend with us. Much love, everybody.